Welcome, Kleschka Crew, to another episode of Kleschka Picks. It was a wild week. This is week 16. Roll the intro.
Let's go, let's go!
Huh? What was that? What's on the back of my chair? Oh, this! That's just my merch. Specifically, a Kleschka Crew hoodie. You can get one for yourself, friends, family. Nice little Christmas gift. The link for the merch is in the description. Go ahead, check out what we got, and get yourself something nice. Thursday Night Football, we got the Rams and the Saints. The Saints took care of the Giants, no problem at home. And the Rams, also at home, took care of the Commanders. Got a little iffy towards the end of the game, but they were able to hang on and stop them from creating some kind of crazy ending. This week, the Saints, when they go up against the middle of the pack or below average teams, I think they play pretty good. But the Rams have been heating up, and they have looked even better as the weeks go on. And with the momentum they're riding on, I believe the Rams will take care of the Saints, no problem. I think they win 27-17. Bengals and Steelers. The Bengals won in a crazy game last week with a game-winning field goal. And then we have the Steelers played the Colts, and they were absolutely embarrassed. They are making the move to Mason Rudolph at quarterback. I don't think that is going to change much. We have seen the momentum on the side of the Bengals. Even with the injury to Joe Burrow, Jake Browning has stepped up, and the more he plays, the more he looks even better. So with this game, I think the Steelers offense is so poor that the Bengals are going to easily be able to run away with this one, and I think the Bengals win 24-14. Bills and Chargers. The Bills got a huge win over the Cowboys last week. A statement win as their defense was amazing, their ground game was amazing, and Josh Allen took care of business. They absolutely destroyed them. And the Chargers, they absolutely got destroyed by the Raiders. 63 points. Wow, that is crazy. I said it all season long. Their defense allows a ton of points. Obviously, this week was the most ever. They, along with that bad beat, fired their head coach, Brandon Staley. As soon as the plane landed the next day, they said, "Hey, buddy, come to the office." Yeah, now get out of the facility forever. And the Bills have been heating up. The Chargers have been hit by the injury bug bad. I do not think it is going to be looking good for them this week. I think the Bills are going to win big, 38-13. Seahawks and Titans. The Titans lost late in the game to the Texans without CJ Stroud, and my Seahawks. Oh my God. We got a big win over the Eagles. The game-winning touchdown to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and Julian Love was on fire. 2 interceptions that were hugely important to that game, and we walked out of there with the victory. Love it. Absolutely adore it. And the Titans, I've described them as a roller coaster team all season. That's exactly what they are. They'll have the greatest games and they'll have the worst games. The Seahawks, this is a break in the tough schedule that we have had lately. And I think off of that win that we just got, we're going to be riding a ton of momentum. Geno Smith or Drew Lock, whoever's at quarterback, with Kenneth Walker healthy, the receivers get back in the offense and are going to be full power once again. I think the Seahawks win this game 27-20. Colts and Falcons. The Falcons lost to the Panthers last week. Unbelievable. That is so sad. And then you have the Colts, who looked very good against the Steelers, picked up a win there. I think that is going to continue this week. Their ground game, even without Jonathan Taylor, has been pretty good. And Gardner Minshew, ever since he stepped in, has led this team, and they have been looking good offensively overall. With the Falcons, that is quite the opposite. Their offense is not looked good this whole season, and a Colts defense, it's pretty good. I think they're going to make them look even more poor than they've already looked. So give me the Colts winning this one 30-17. Packers and Panthers. The Panthers got another win last week. Oh my God. And they did it with only field goals. That's crazy. And then you have the Packers, who got destroyed by the Buccaneers at Lambeau. After they hit this hot streak, they have all of a sudden gone ice cold. Jordan Love has not been able to lead this team to victories recently, and they've been struggling. And I don't know what to tell you, but if there's not a team you can get back on track against, it's the Panthers. for sure. They are the worst team in the league easily, and this should be a turnaround game for the Packers overall. So I think Jordan Love and the offense are going to be able to get this one, win this game, and then I think the Packers win 27-13. Browns and Texans. Browns won in the craziest fashion last week against the Bears. Hail Mary attempt fell in the lap of Darnell Mooney, and then it was somehow intercepted. He kicked it right to a Browns player. That ended the game. And the Texans, they won late. And C.J. Stroud did not play in that game, and rumors are saying he's not going to play in this game either. Not looking good. He's still going through concussion protocol. I think this is going to be a close game due to the fact that they don't have C.J. Stroud. The Browns defense is pretty solid, and I think the Texans will be okay offensively. I don't think they'll be dominant, but Joe Flacco has actually looked pretty good, crazy enough, being the Browns quarterback. He's found his favorite targets to throw to, and he's just making the simple throws. He's getting the game plan attack, and he's going out there and delivering. And I believe the Browns are going to pull this off. I just think the defense is going to be the key factor without C.J. Stroud. And this is me predicting without him playing. If he does play, obviously things are different. But from what I'm reading, apparently he's not going to. So give me the Browns winning this one 24-17. Lions and Vikings. The Vikings fell victim to the Bengals last week. And the Lions, they were tearing apart the Broncos. Jared Goff had a great game. And he really made a statement there against a Broncos team that was on fire. And they're trying to find a spot at playoffs. They said, hold on. I know we've slowed down a little bit, but we are still that team from the beginning of the season that has been good offensively, defensively, and I think they're going to prove that again, both sides of the ball here against the Vikings, that is trending downwards. They are switching quarterbacks constantly. That has been a problem for them this year, and I think the Lions offense is going to go crazy once again. I think the defense will have no problem slowing them down, not allowing them to go crazy with their throws, their run game, really anything. I think the Lions win 30-13. Mid-matchup of the week. You know what that means. We're just going to briefly talk about it, get it out of the way. Commanders lost to the Rams last week. Jets were shut out by the Dolphins last week. I think this one will go to the Commanders. Give me them winning this game 24-16. Jags and Bucks. The Bucks won in a very good game for Baker Mayfield against the Packers last week at Lambeau Field. And the Jags, they lost to the Ravens. They did not play their best football, but they were going up against one of the best teams in the league right now, the Ravens. This week, I think the Jags are going to get back to the Jags we were seeing early in the season. Look like they've been changing it around. From what we all know, the Jags have been a team that everybody thinks is going to suck every year, and it was changing. The narrative was different. Trevor Lawrence was leading this team to a good record, and they kind of hit a bump in the road, and I think the Buccaneers, even though they had that really good game last week, are going to now hit a bump in their road, and I think the Jags are going to get back on track. I think they're going to make use of all their offensive weapons. I think it'll be close, but I think the Jags pulled off. I think they win 27-24. Bears and Cardinals. The Bears, like we mentioned, lost in a heartbreaking fashion last week. And the Cardinals, they were absolutely destroyed by the 49ers. I could make this another mid-matchup of the week. These teams aren't going to playoffs. They ain't going to be doing much. They're probably fighting for number one pick in the draft, honestly. But Justin Fields, ever since he returned, the Bears have looked a little better. And same for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray returned, and obviously that improved their team as a whole. So I don't know. I think this is going to be close. I think it's going to be kind of low scoring, and I think it's going to come down to Justin Fields, and I think he's going to have a good game against his defense, and I think that'll lead him and the team to a win. I think the Bears pick this one up 23-20. Game of the week, put a star on it. Cowboys and Dolphins. The Dolphins shut out the Jets last week. That's a pretty easy task. And the Cowboys were embarrassed. They were beat by the Buffalo Bills bad. We know both of these teams have crazy good offenses, and we know Dallas has a very good defense, one of the best in the NFL. Maybe kind of slipping later in these weeks recently. For the Dolphins, defense not as strong. It's still pretty good, but I'd still say the Cowboys have a better defense. And due to the fact that both of these teams are very high-powered offensively, I think that's what it's going to come down to is the defense. And a huge factor for the Dolphins is if Tyreek Hill plays. Not sure at this moment if he will, but I think it was just a week off for him. I think he'll be back in this lineup. And I still think that'll make the game more competitive, but I do think it comes down to the defenses, like I said, and I do think the Cowboys have the better defense. I think this will be a shootout. Give me the Cowboys winning this one 30-27. Patriots and Broncos. The Broncos were beat bad by the Lions last week, and the Patriots, they actually had a respectable game against the Chiefs, but they did lose. The Broncos, they were very bad to start the season, hit this high and went on a win streak, and now they've kind of slowed down in these recent weeks. The Patriots, they've been bad all season. I think that's what we're going to see again this week. I think it will actually be a competitive game, but I think the Broncos are more together, have a better chemistry right now, and have more of an idea of what their team identity is. So give me the Broncos winning this one 24-17. Raiders and Chiefs. We just said the Chiefs beat the Patriots last week, and the Raiders, they went nuts. They scored big. They were having the time of their lives beating the Chargers. And another division matchup here. This one, the Chiefs are slowly getting back on track. They still don't look as dominant as I think they should. They definitely don't look like one of the scariest teams in the NFL right now. I'd say there's other teams out there that definitely could be a match for the Chiefs. But in this one, the Raiders are not one of those teams that I consider, even though they just had one of the best games of the season. I think the Chiefs, talent-wise, offense and defense, are much better, and I think Mahomes is going to lead them to a victory over the Raiders 31-21. Eagles and Giants. The Eagles took a bad beat to my Seahawks last week. They have been slumping lately. They have not looked good in their past games, and the Giants did not look good last week either. They took an L to the Saints. The Eagles are definitely one of those teams that can make a huge impact, but I don't know what's been going on with them. Their offense has been poor. Jalen Hurts has not been playing to the level we all know he can. And for the Giants, well, we all are on the Tommy DeVito hype. It slowed down last week, and I think one of these teams needs a turnaround, and I think it's going to be for the Eagles this week playing the Giants. I think they need this matchup. They have to face a team like this to get their confidence back, to get back on track, get on a roll again. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think their offense goes nuts. I think the Eagles beat the Giants 30-20. Screw it. I'm having two games of the week. Put a star on it. 49ers and Ravens. The 49ers destroyed the Cardinals as they should last week. The Ravens, they beat the Jags. These two teams going up against each other is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be back and forth offense, just shootout style football. The Ravens, very good with their ground game, whether it's Lamar Jackson or the running backs. And when he needs the pass, he's leaning on that more. He's getting that more involved in his game. The 49ers can get really anything involved. McCaffrey, Debo, Purdy. You want to pass, you want to run, they succeed at it. And these teams, I think it's going to be a heavyweight battle. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But I think the defense of the 49ers is the factor. Obviously, both these teams have good offenses. I think the 49ers definitely have a better offense and are just overall a better team. So I think it'll be a close one, but I think the 49ers pull it off. I think they win 30-27. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Week 16 of Kleschka Picks. If you made it to the end of this video, let me know. Are you in your fantasy playoffs? Are you in the toilet bowl playoffs, trying to not be the toilet bowl champion? I am in my fantasy playoffs, trying to be that champion. I hope I get it. I got this. Like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, pets, friends, brother, sister, and uncle, everybody you know to subscribe if they haven't already. I got this, you got this, we all got this, and I'll see you next time.